Hey everyone, I thought I would share with you, I'm going to be laying in this painting, and this is interesting. This is going to be a commission, and there's sort of limits around what it has to be. So I thought it would be kind of cool to share with you how I'm starting this, and also go over a little about the materials I'm using. So for those of you who have been through the Creative Visionary program, you know, we talk a lot about that initial play period to experiment and just have fun in the beginning of any kind of work you're doing. Because why? Because we can. It's an easy thing to do. The stakes are low. I can't ruin this. It's just white right now. It's only going to add to the richness of the final piece. So let me just talk a little bit about the materials I'm going to be using. I use R&F pastel sticks quite a lot, and these are really beautiful. They don't dry so quickly, so I use liquid on top of it that helps it dry. This is all oil right here, so I'll be using oil paint, and I use these R&F pigment sticks, and they're really good. They come in different sizes. I mix the oil paint together. If you mix the oil paint with these, they dry because there's a drying agent, there's an oxidizing agent in oil paint. I use liquid as my medium. I also put cold wax in my oil paint. It makes it smooth, so you can smooth it out, and I think it does speed up the drying, so I kind of mix that. You'll be seeing I'm using buckets of paint, you know, larger quantities of paint, because this is a big painting. But when I mix up the paint, I put a little cold wax in there, and you can just kind of experiment, and a tablespoon or two. It just kind of softens the paint. I'll also be using sandpaper and different things, but not so much in the beginning. I'm just building up the layers on this thing, and I'm just gonna be playing around. Now, for the next half an hour, I wanna cover all of this, get everything, because I've got a coat of white paint on this. It's dry right now, and today, in a matter of half an hour, I'm gonna put paint all over this. Now, this is a commission, and this is going to have a lot of blues and a lot of cool colors, and it's a fairly light painting. I know that because I've seen something that I've done. I'm not recreating it, but I'm doing something similar in feeling. So I know it's gonna be cool. So what am I gonna do on the underpainting? I'm gonna stay really warm, because eventually I'm gonna wanna have those cool areas with some other areas to contrast it, peeking through, coming through, and having warm colors. I'll probably go kind of dark with some of this as well. Maybe not today, but soon, because this is gonna be a light, cool painting. And if I scrape through those lighter outside layers, later I wanna be able to see those marks, and if it's dark underneath, I will. So this is all pretty much all I do in terms of thinking ahead. I know that I'm gonna use kind of warm colors today. I mean, I don't have to, but that's where I'm kind of going with this. And I'm gonna be putting some strong darks in this. So after that, it's just the sky's the limit. So I'm gonna be kind of working on this, and hopefully you can kind of see, I might mention what I'm doing a little bit, but in the tools I'm using. Okay, so let's go. And one other thing is I like to look at my watch, and I kind of set my watch. I'm just gonna work on this half an hour. And when I hit this, which I just did, it's kind of go time. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me from talking to other people. Like, I'm doing this, and I'm gonna take half an hour, and I'm gonna paint. I'm just gonna drop into it fully as much as I can. Okay, so I gotta get my paint going here. And when I'm starting, I try to I overstate it. And if I've got this color, you'll see I'm gonna put it in 3 or 4 places. I don't know where I want it, but since I've got it in the brush and I'm using it, I'm gonna put this in a few places. I don't really like this color, but I'm not gonna be stuck with this color. I'm gonna put colors on top of it and all the rest, so. And I'm painting really thick as well. I wanna change this painting. I don't have any idea about the design. I'm not even thinking that. I'm just, well, I mean, it's hard not to, but you know, I'm just putting different things on in different places. This is recording. It looks a lot darker, you know, in the video than what I'm looking at. And the reason there's this dark place in the middle is because there's a beam above that casts a shadow. It's a sort of a limitation of my studio. Notice how I move around. I want to just get I want to touch all areas. I'm not going to stay focused on a corner of this thing. I'm trying to get a hold of all of it in the beginning. The bigger you can grab and the bigger boldness you can have, if you understand it quicker, you can make better decisions later. See how fast these oil pastels are. What do you need? What do you need?
Delivery coming in.
That's fine, that's fine. I'm working in the studio today and we've got stuff coming in and there's noise, but that's okay. So see how fast this is? Like, even just faster than painting. This is just black. I have a lot of these black oil pastels, so I'm gonna kind of use them instead of using black paint. Again, I know that if I have value contrast, I can see this thing better. So I just throw it in right away. Again, this stuff doesn't dry very well, so I'll be coating this. You'll see I'll be putting liquid on top of these pastel areas. I also tend to use the colors of things in the beginning that I don't use normally. Like, I never use this and it's just gross. And so I'm gonna use some of this paint up because it's just sort of underpainting. It's actually a really nice color. I don't know why I don't use it. You know, the thing that what I am responding to is how something feels. I like this color, so I'm using more of it. It's just how I feel. It's all intuitive here. It's just, does this feel good? Do more of it. If it doesn't, change it up. So that's all I'm doing. By mixing the paint into the oil pastels, it changes the oil pastels, but it will dry this paint. It's also going to lighten it, but it creates a pretty interesting color. And as I'm going to smooth out some of this, I use a trowel. You can see it makes this really beautiful, like that color coming up through it. It's kind of nice. This is a trowel that we sell on our website. They're particular, this is the big one. They're flexible, they have round corners, they're really great. I use this one a lot, and then I use this smaller one. These are hard to get. That's what they're bringing in right now. We just got a huge order of them. I mean, huge, I think we got like 60 of them. They're from Italy, they're super hard to get. But anyway, this is the small size. This is great, but I also use the big size too, the bigger one. I use a drill to mix the paint. It's just super fast. you know, it's it's this kind of weird colors, putting things together I wouldn't normally use. It's just such a fun experience to just try stuff. And you know, you can see it just doesn't take much time at all when you don't have to have an agenda to get something going. Because this oil pastel is being mixed in with this oil paint now, this color will drop. Now, so I've got a lot of paint on here, and a lot of it is that oil pastel. And I'm going to now come in with some liquid and just coat it on top of those so they dry quickly. And that's what I'm gonna do now, just so I know that this stuff will all dry. So liquid's a little like maple syrup. It's super thin. I put a bunch in a bucket. And if you have a soft brush, you can kind of put it on without it disturbing it so much. So, doing all the green, because I got, you know, so the color, doing the green first. And because it's the beginning of the painting, I don't care if it drips or whatever, you know. I'm doing these sort of dark reddish colors right now. And then I'll switch brush to do the yellow. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'll get a clean brush and now just hit the yellow. Now I'm going to come in and wipe some of the extra off. I kind of like how you get different colors on the tool. You can see the colors are getting kind of mixed together a little, but I like that, right? I'm not trying to be too, keeping everything perfect. Now I'm going to come in, I'm going to mix up a background color for this area and just kind of go around and paint that white color, change that. Even if I'm going to keep it white, I want to have paint on there. I think I'm going to go with like a light, warm background. And you can see how everything's running together, right? I'm going to come in and smooth some of this out. Okay, so you can see that I've covered all the surfaces, and what I want to do, now I just kind of look at it, kind of like a painting. I just look at it and want to maybe put a couple more darks on it, just get it just real easy. So I'm going to post this on Instagram. So I'm just going to use the principles here just to like kind of make it look better. I know, you know, what we've learned and what I teach and you moving your eye around, you know, I know this is going to help this picture, having this contrast in different places, just some little details, smaller marks. It's completely arbitrary. I'm just cleaning this. I'm just making something to give it a little bit more interest. Mainly just for a photograph, you know. I'm gonna bring some bright white into this. There's no white in this picture yet, you know, so but just having that will make it look better. Very wet now, and wet into wet here, but that's it. That's a half an hour, 31 minutes exactly. What I might do is, after I take a picture of this, I'm gonna flip these. This is in two parts, by the way. There's the craft. This is a diptych. These paintings are gonna be designed to go together. But what I'm going to do after I take a picture of it is I'm going to turn these upside down so the drips go the other way too. It just creates all kinds of interest, and I don't know which way this is going to go, but I have a lot more information now to go off of. I mean, I haven't even like gone over there and looked at it yet, but you can see how fun this is. And this has nothing to do with the materials, whether this is acrylic or oil paint. It's that approach and giving yourself that freedom in the beginning to play and experiment. All right, listen, thanks for being here. For those of you in the Academy, you can just leave a comment and you know, let us know what you think, and everyone else for that matter. Okay, thanks you guys.